Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Friday, January 10th, and we are up to Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 20, and this is where Egypt shall fall to Babylon. We saw the lament against Egypt. We saw that God is planning to wipe out the major cities that they need in order to survive as a nation, and that God is doing it all for one reason, that they will know that I am the Lord. That's a quote from chapter 30, verse 19. That's why he's doing it. That's his purpose. We also talked about the fact that that's his love, his mercy, and his grace. He puts, I can't say that he puts difficult situations in our lives, because that's either coming from Satan or it's coming from something that we chose to do out of our own flesh. But God will use situations to draw us closer to him. And that brings us to chapter 30, verse 20, which says, "In the 11th year, in the first month, on the 7th day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and behold, it has not been bound up to heal it by binding it with a bandage, so that it may become strong to wield the sword." Okay, so stop and think this through. Whether it's figurative or literal, Pharaoh's got this broken arm. It's not being bandaged. It's not being casted so that it can heal correctly. Well, the Cultural Study Bible also had a note about that. And it said, a scene from the reign of Amenhotep II depicts the Pharaoh holding locks of his enemy in one hand and the other hand poised to bludgeon the man. The scene is common in Egypt, and in this case includes an accompanying inscription identifying the Pharaoh as a god whose arm is great. The figure of the broken arm of the Pharaoh may be an ironic echo of royal epithets from the Site dynasty. Hophra, the Pharaoh of Ezekiel's time, uses as a royal epithet the expression possessor of a strong arm, the title of the second formal name of his tutelary. So this Pharaoh was known for having a strong arm. That strong arm was part of the symbolism that came with being Pharaoh. Keep in mind, why is Egypt being punished? Well, because the Israelites were reaching out to them for help is one reason, instead of going to God himself. And secondly, because they were so prideful, they said that their wealth, that their abundance, that all their prosperity was coming from them. They didn't give God the credit for allowing that to happen and facilitating that happening. So basically, God is saying, I am going to take what you say is so strong, and I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it, and it's not going to heal. It's going to be forever a hindered limb within the society. Verse 22. Therefore, thus says the Lord God, behold, I am against Pharaoh of Egypt and will break his arm, both the strong arm and the one that was broken, and I will make the sword fall from his hand. I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them through the countries. And I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon and put my sword in his hand. But I will break the arms of Pharaoh, and he will groan before him like a man mortally wounded. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, but the arms of Pharaoh shall fall. Then they shall know that I am the Lord, when I put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he stretches it out against the land of Egypt. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them throughout the countries. Then they will know that I am the Lord. That statement, then they will know that I am the Lord, is coming up over and over and over again. So basically, all of the strength of Egypt is going to be handed to the king of Babylon. Why is it happening? Because of Egypt's pride, because they're basically worshiping themselves rather than worshiping the Lord. Today is Friday, so I'm going to remind you there's no video Saturday and Sunday, but I'll be back with you Monday. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.